Welcome back. I am Dr. Hadley. This is my series on Microsoft 365 for Excel. This unit is on formatting, and this is the second lesson. We're going to be focusing on alignment in this lesson. We're still using the same table from the first lesson, okay, this formatting lesson, so you'll want to make another copy. I just made a clean copy because I didn't really like the formatting from the first lesson, so I just want to kind of pick up from here. As before, though, I can find all my formatting options in the ribbon. So you can see here the specific subsection of alignment has all the same options as it does in the window. I just like the window because A, I don't remember all the icons, and I feel like there's a little bit more granular control for some of the items. Okay. So first, what I want to do is column and row sizing. Okay. So we've seen in the previous videos, I can come over here and get this double arrow and double click and it will auto size. Okay. I can also, just drag it. So I can take like this net income, drag it however I want, and give it maybe lots of room. Or I can even set the specific value. So I can right click, column width, auto fit just like before, or custom, and I can give it a specific width. Now the default units, quite sure how they work, but you can also do pixels, but really I just use this. Okay, that's 12.14. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 16. And that seems to fit just fine. And I can do the exact same thing for the row height. I can make this one a little taller, maybe make this one really tall, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay. But let's look at formatting the alignment for these cells. So let's select all of the headers. Okay, we're going to right click and we're going to go to Format Cells and then Alignment. Okay. So I have lots of options here, but let's just kind of go through each one by one. So first we have the horizontal alignment. This first one is general. So this is like a default for all cell types because the horizontal alignment is not the exact same for everything. So the text here is left aligned. These numbers are right aligned. Same thing with these dates. And that's just the default formatting that Excel applies. But maybe I want to force a specific thing. So actually, let's do that before we do anything. Maybe I don't want these dates right justified. I want them left justified. So I can go here and click left, and now they're all aligned that way, and that's much better. Whereas maybe I want the name of the game, these are just games, I want those to be right justified. Okay. And that way the name lines up closer to these numbers, and maybe I want these also left justified. Okay. So okay, Mat Masters, there's the SQ. Wingspan, there's the SQU. And as I said, with these headings, maybe I probably want them to be center aligned. Okay. Pretty nice. Now, you might think, oh, well, it's nice that they're close, but they're a little too close. Okay. And that's where indent comes in place. I can increase how many indentations there are in between, in this case on the left. Right now there's none, so that's why it's flush. But I can increase it so it's a little closer, but not, it's a little further away, but still pretty darn close. Okay. The other thing I can do is this bottom alignment. So maybe I want all of these headers to be on the top. Okay. And this wingspan here, okay, I want that in the center for whatever reason. Okay. So that gives me control over the vertical alignment. And as you can see, there's just the three options, top, middle, or bottom. Then there's these special controls under here. We have wrap text, merge and center. There's actually a couple of sub options here, but they're all pretty similar. But let's look at wrap text first. So let's highlight this column and let's do wrap text. And what you see is that now all of these titles, all these game names, they're wrapped around, so anything that was beyond the cell length is wrapped to the next line. And it conveniently auto fits the height of rows that it had to, accommodate a second line. Yeah. Next thing though is this merge and center, or just merge or whatever. So that is when you want to have one cell. Really, you want one cell that has one piece of information, but over a larger area. Okay, so for example, I have all of these things for 2004. It would be much more convenient just to have a big 2024 heading above them all versus this in the parentheses, and then I can make the columns a little smaller. Anyways, so how do I add columns and rows? So if I right-click a row, I can put insert one above, insert one below. So I click insert one below. Oh, well, really I want it above. The other thing I can do, when you get these 6 little dots, okay, I can use that to drag, and that will switch. That will move its position. So that's another way to manipulate in terms of adding rows, adding columns, moving rows, moving columns. So after I have the row where I want it, I'm going to click on, let's say this cell, 2024, and it is in the center, but it's still separate cells here. So I can highlight all 3 of these, click merge and center, and now it is one single cell. There's no distinction between F1 and G1 and H1. They're all one. If I use my arrows, there's no way to distinguish between the 3. Okay, but like in terms of centering formatting, it's not going to center it just for G. It's going to center it across F, H, and whatever. So if I change those widths, so let's change those widths really quick to custom, and let's make them all 15. It's going to, keep that center between those 3 cells. Another option within merge, or other options, if I make this 2025, and select these 3, I can also just merge across. I can just merge the cells. Merge across is just like keep merging until you hit them, and then I can also unmerge things. So pretty straightforward. For example, if I just do merge cells, okay, those cells are now merged. Another thing that I can do is I can change the orientation. So this is making the text tilt, as it were. So maybe, for whatever reason, I want the SQU to be at a 45-degree angle. And now it's at a 45-degree angle. Okay. And maybe I want this written vertically so that it's COST versus cost. What do you mean? I mean, like if I click this, oh, no, now it's cost. And of course it gets cut off, but now it's cost. Why you'd want to do that, I'm not quite sure, but the option is there for a situation where I might apply. And that's all I have for today in terms of formatting alignment. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Have a good day.